But that's not the worst move in radio yesterday.
Oh, my God.
There's even a worse move than that happened yesterday. Citadel, who's officially, I guess they officially filed for bankruptcy.
Oh, they did?
Which means our stock certificate is now worth just pennies. The $100,000 investment Aunt and I each did. That means $100,000 each is now worth basically pennies.
I got some value out of it.
You sold?
No, I ran out of toilet paper, and it was right near me in the bathroom, so I just wiped my fucking ass with it.
Citadel filed for bankruptcy, and they made a programming change.
Yes, they did.
They hired a guy to be the vice president of programming for the entire company.
Wow,
Citadel,
that's
which is
important.
It has to be at least 100 radio stations.
Boy, let me tell you.
They hired Scott Shannon to be the fucking vice president of programming. We've played his audio from his New York show on this fine radio show of ours.
There it is.
The guy.
Oh, I'd love to hear the meeting between him and Fareed. That must have been a nice little chit-chat.
What is he going to do programming-wise for Citadel Broadcasting? He's barely involved in his own radio show.
It says Scott's contributions to radio are legendary.
They are legendary. I'll give him that.
And his successes are many. He has a proven resource for us, best music programmer in the industry today. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, accolades. Shannon, a long-time broadcaster, hosts shows in all over the place. Will work with Citadel's major market programmers on overall programming and content direction. Good luck to you. Have fun with the stock certificate in the shitter and the company filing for bankruptcy.
I want to hear more of his audio.
I accept this job with such full. His teeth fly out of his head. Big fake teeth.
All right. Please, can we hear more of his audio? Can't they just grab a minute for me?
Just send it down the hall. Just say it. They're listening to you in the office.
Guys, please.
Just go, Sam, please get me some Scott Shannon audio.
And he'll be on it.
Pronto.
Yeah. Sam or E-Rock?
Yeah, we'll have some Scott Shannon. We'll show you how great he is and that he's worthy of this amazing position that Free just gave him.
Program a bankrupt company. What an honor.
The other thing that happened in radio yesterday, Scott Shannon, who is a legend in this business, and we should respect him a little bit. He's an older gentleman now, though.
Yes.
And his creative years are way past him. Way past him.
A little in his wake.
So that's why I'm a bit surprised that Citadel Broadcasting decided to make Scott Shannon the vice president of programming for all their properties, all their radio stations.
You're surprised a bankrupt company made a silly move? Why?
Extremely surprised they would do that. Instead of getting some young programmer to take over the company, they went with Scott Shannon, who hasn't done anything creative in probably a decade.
It's been a while.
Doesn't he program PLJ, though? Which is actually doing very well. They probably thought we have nothing else going.
What does that entail, programming PLJ?
Oh, there's lots of things.
For real, I don't know. There's nothing there. It's just basic shit. It's just basic shit.
No, you just play the hits.
Jimmy requested some Scott and Todd audio, so this is a break they did 15, 20 minutes ago.
Another breach of security publicized from the White House. This couple from Georgia were there for a White House tour, and before they knew it, they were sitting at breakfast with Barack Obama and his wife.
In the private dining room?
Yeah. It left the White House again explaining how people who were not on the event guest list wound up.
They might need to make a change over there.
Something's wrong.
Yeah.
It's starting to scare
make
me.
a change.
The improbable adventure of Harvey and Paula Darden from Hogansville, Georgia, happened on Veterans Day. 2 weeks before the Salami family.
We're not on the list, That's all right.
The White House and the Secret Service both said they went through appropriate security screenings, were allowed into the breakfast as a courtesy because there were no public tours that day.
Oh.
However, that explanation was news to Mr. Darden. Harvey is a retired pharmacist, said they were never told about a breakfast. They thought they were simply starting their tour, which was arranged through the congressman. They were ushered into the East Room, told they'd be meeting with the president.
Wow.
For a big breakfast there.
They met with the president?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Harvey and Paula out of Hogansville.
So it wasn't really a breach because they were told that they were going to be.
Oh, yeah.
No,
They didn't do it on
Are you
purpose.
listening?
I'm just saying. They approached the White House aide and said, we're not supposed to be at the breakfast with the president. The guy said, just go with the flow, will you? Told him, just go with the flow.
Nice. Don't worry about it.
I wonder if now is that a breach, or did Obama say just want to do something weird, like get a couple of citizens to have breakfast with
All right,
him?
Jimmy, hold on for a
Yeah,
second.
who cares, Jimmy? We gotta talk about how uncomfortable that was.
You know
Listen
what?
to.
The clip was
What's
being
wrong
played
with you?
because it was Scott Shannon.
Jesus, Jimmy. What the fuck's wrong with you?
I don't know why
But I have to defend Jimmy on something. Why the fuck would you pick an interesting story like? Because I gotta tell you, it's kind of an interesting story.
Of course, it's.
I was dying to hear what was next.
Yes,
It's an interesting story, but it was very uncomfortable to listen to.
Right,
I got a very
fair,
uncomfortable
fair.
feeling listening to that. There's no energy behind what they're saying.
That's
Well,
the
but most
story
of
of the day. And so to read it, for a morning show, to read it as if they're news readers,
Yeah.
you just turn on the CW for
Here's
that.
the problem, though. When we play clips of news people, they're like, and two people were in the White House that don't belong there.
Sure.
It's boring and dull anyway.
Right.
So that, to me, could have been any boring and dull, like, news station, just to go like, if we ever went, hey, there's a story about, a couple in the White House, let's go to the clip. It would have sounded just like that.
Exactly,
So that
but-
wasn't a good example. No, I submit to you, that was not a good example of Scott Shannon because the story was too interesting and it took away from really listening to how badly he trips over his choppers.
But here's why it is a good example. We put it into the context of they're supposed to be doing what this show does, meaning
Not really.
add the pizzazz to the clip, not just do the clip.
But you don't know that. No one knows that listening. They probably, if someone just tuned in, they wouldn't have gone, oh wow, they're goofing on Scott Shannon or some other radio show or something. They would go, oh, here's a story about the White House.
Yeah.
You fucked up.
Should we get another clip?
Fucked up. You fucked up. You fucked up.
Yes. Oh, I wanted to do more.
Jimmy.
I hate. I forgot. It's the worst when I wanted to keep the chant going and none of the guys
I
did.
know. Don't you hate being
What?
the last guy chanting?
The worst, especially when 4 hours later you realize everyone's gone home. You're still chanting.
Well, you want another clip, Ed, or what?
You want more Scott?
Yes.
I want Scott with a story that isn't, like, compelling.
Yes, please.
It was kind of a compelling story.
I wasn't compelled.
Thank you.
I wanted to know what
You
happened.
weren't compelled
The
because-
energy was really weak.
But like I
Extremely
said,
weak.
Did you hear Todd's
play that
jokes?
AP guy, play that AP guy. And today, blah, 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 blah,
No, I understand that.
Blah, blah, blah.
I understand that. But I think the listeners understand they were listening to a morning show that should be all peppy and energetic and
Like us.
and some kind of chemistry going back and forth. Hey, that's the one thing we do have is energy.
I don't know how.
Happy and bursting with love.
Okay.
That's the one thing this show
Odd couple.
always will have is the energy.
I'll be back in 5 minutes with a boring story.
Please do.
Thank you.
We're
Please.
happy and peppy and bursting with love. Happy and peppy.
Like a little pup. We go down at that part. Like a little pup.
Happy and peppy and bursting with love. A terrible song.
All right, let's do this. So, we got another Scott and Todd clip. Want to give this another shot?
Yes.
I do. All right.
I
Well,
didn't like the earlier shot we gave because it was kind of an interesting story. They didn't make it any more interesting. They didn't elaborate on stuff. It was just like a boring news report of a story. But I kind of, found the story a little compelling.
And this comes from the fact that Citadel Broadcasting, a big radio company that
Citadel.
I think they filed for bankruptcy the last day or two, named Scott Shannon vice president of programming for their radio company, and they wonder why they had to file for bankruptcy. It's a dumb move.
That's great. It is. It's like being named captain of the Titanic
Sure.
after the iceberg.
Well,
Exactly.
yeah, but I
So it wasn't meant as a joke, more as a metaphor that people can understand.
One would hope.
Scott Shannon was a very creative programmer many, many years ago, but he hasn't been creative in well over a decade.
Guess
And
it's been a while.
And his own fucking show is really lame here in New York City. It's extremely lame.
Lame.
So why would you take that and go, you know what? We need more lameness.
We need this
We want
guy.
to spread your lameness across America to all our property.
Well, I guess so. Also, they're thinking we can only go up. We're bankrupt.
Just dumb. Radio in general, dumb.
I disagree, Opie. I think they're doing a terrific job.
Well, here's another clip to prove. This is from Scott and Todd this morning. This is what they're doing with their show.
There was a fella by the name of Stanley Dudek in Massachusetts. Stanley Dudek returned his overdue library book 99 years, 7 months, and 12 days after it was checked out.
Did he check it out?
Now, his deceased mother did.
Oh.
Oh, boy.
He was
Mother.
sifting through her possessions. Found the book, Facts I Ought to Know About the Government of My Country. It was due back May the 2nd, 1910.
Oh, boy.
They were happy to have it
What's
back.
the fine on that?
I don't know. We got to send the book crook over
Is it
there.
Amnesty Month?
I think so.
Probably.
10 cents a day for 100 years?
I'm a little bit late. 99 years ago, my mother checked this thing out.
You're welcome.
Okay, that's much better. All right, now I have a full appreciation of the suckdom that is that show.
So I would assume he would suggest to the rest of the radio stations that they read wacky news stories.
Yes.
Right.
And why and maybe he could have mentioned what other books were available at the time.
Well, if you got some creativity, you certainly could at least take that and run with it and make it into something.
Yes, the health benefits of smoking. Why the Negro must not be allowed to purchase marmalade. It's a great book.
Shit. Yeah, that's pretty, that was the clip I was looking for.